Hello there, welcome back YouTube. It's Carl here from Carl's Garden Veg, and I'm down the allotment. As you can see, I've got a few things I need to get done today. Mainly, I'm going to prepare my carrot bed or box, sandbox, ready to receive my carrot seed in the next month, 3 to 4 weeks. Around about mid-March, I'll end up planting the carrot seeds. Sweet Candle is the variety I use. So let's, without further ado, show you exactly what I'm doing, and then we can see if you can duplicate this, because I have absolutely tremendous success by doing it this way. I'll show you now. So here's my carrot box, and it's basically sand. There's a mixture, there's a bit of soil in here. I'm not too worried about it. It's mixing with the sand it has from previous years. What I do is level it off, take all the lumps, the bits and pieces you can see obviously on the surface out, okay, level it off, and then I put water, about 3 or 4 cans of water on here initially, but it takes about 8 in total, so I'll give it a good soak in with about 4 cans. That'll soak in, and I'll come back again with another 4 cans. And I've done that process done now, so basically it's all wet and damp. And the reason why you need to keep it wet and damp, right, is because when you start putting your dibber in, you want the walls of the hole to stay compact. And basically when it's damp, if it's dry sand, it starts to fall apart. So when you go to put your compost in, you have some problems. So what I normally do is I use a dibber like this, and I got marks on it, and I go up to this mark here, and this round about 12 to 14 inches long, that section. All I do is that I put an hole in like this, down to the mark, rattle it round like so, and that's that. And I'll do the whole section here. Fill it up like this. So you have the holes like that, and then I'll put another hole, obviously just sort of like in the middle of the 2 holes here, and I get about 25 to 30 carrots in this bed. So I'll just put you on some time lapse now, speed it up a bit. So that's them all filled in, and they all look tidy. So it's now filling in with compost. I'm going to show you here what I've got, and then you can either do something very similar, or you can use other compost, but I'll just show you what I've got here, and then we can go from there. 2 seconds. So what I've got for you guys, this bed has been obviously topped it up with a bit of compost each year, right? But this bed has been in this tunnel for 10 years, and it's pretty dry and lifeless becoming, to be honest. So what I'm going to be doing is using a lot of this in these beds, in this bed in particular. I'm going to be using this soil, sieved soil out here, for my carrots, because it's a little bit lifeless, but it's not it's got nutrients in it, but it's not as nutrient dense that's going to cause any problems with the carrots forking and things like that. It is some bone meal that's gone in here, and I put some fresh compost in here last year. So the compost is pretty good luck, but it's very dry and drabby. Now this will sieve really well, and it'll be really fine, and I'll take all the lumps out of it. and then I'll mix something with the compost to make it just a bit more fertile, not too much more fertile. You don't really need it for carrots, and they're pretty much growing anything. So that's the plan. So I got my bucket and I got my sieve, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to show you basically what I do. Again, this is not rocket science. So basically, I'm going to start this end of the bed, work my way down. Obviously there's tons of compost in here, soil and compost mix. Obviously not going to use it all, but whatever I take away from here I'm going to replace with some fresh compost this season and use this for my carrots. Okay, that's what I did last year. So I'll just get rid of any bits and pieces in there first, and then sieve it through. What you're left with then is lumps of wood, bits of stone, you know. That's what you're left with, which is pretty much no good. So that will go into a separate container. Yep. And when I'm putting this in the hole, in the carrot hole, it falls in nicely because it's not soaking, it's not damp, but it's like it has got some moisture in it, you know. Need about 6 or 7 of these riddles full, you know. There's so much bits of rubbish in there, to be honest. I had a load of compost delivered once, back about 8 years ago, and it was full of rubbish, and I tried to sieve it through, and you still get bits escaping into your soil, sadly. And I learned a good lesson from that. Anyway, so let me just bring you in a bit closer. You can see what I got then. So what you're left with then, right, after you've sieved this through, so obviously there's the sieve, is this beautiful, almost very sandy soil. And it's so soft and fluffy, not soaking, but just damp. And that'll go in these containers very well in the holes. So I'm going to show you how I do that now as well. So I've got my compost, and all I'm basically doing is taking an handful at a time. It takes about 3 or 4 handfuls to fill the hole. Put it down a little bit. And just fill it up. So it's a bit of a laborious thing to be doing, but while it's wet outside, it's a job that can be done inside, and that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Fill them up. It's so fine, this compost is. What you do then is, after you've filled in the compost like this, okay, I normally give it another water with a very light hose so you don't disturb the soil. And then when you're ready to plant, you just put your finger in, drop 2, maybe 3 seeds in, cover it over. I'll put glass over the top of here, and that will be the job done. And if the 3 seeds germinate, I don't leave the 3 seeds in there. What I do is basically, once they come up to about 1 inch, I just cut the 2 weakest seeds, or seedlings I should say, and I'm left with a strong seed. Then the strong seed that's left will grow into the carrot, and the carrot will grow down straight into the bottom, and then I'll have a nice long straight thick carrot, which you only need 2 or 3 then for a decent sized dinner, you know. So that's them all filled in and they all look tidy. So it's now filling in with compost. I'm going to show you here what I've got, and then you can either do something very similar or you can use other compost, but I'll just show you what I've got here and then we can go from there. So there we go. That's my sandbox, or one of them, finished for 2026, start of the growing season for my carrots in this polytunnel anyway, indoors. Like I said, just 2 or 3 seeds in each of the stations, cover it up with a bit of compost, I'll put glass on top of here, obviously after it's been watered, and then that's job done, and hopefully super straight carrots. Just spin you around. So that's how we do it. That's how you grow perfectly straight, uniformed, thick carrots. Again, the variety I use is called Sweet Candle. I do use some other varieties as well, like Autumn King and Early Nance, but Sweet Candle are the ones that have been reliable for me, and they do grow a large root, which can really give you more yield regarding feeding your family and so forth. So this year I'm hoping to be more self-sufficient in carrots, but that time will tell. But that's how I do it. Look at that. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, guys. You know you want to. This is Carl's Garden Veg, signing out. Bye for now.